Hola, amigos. Welcome to the Best of Mazatlan show. My name is Mark Glickman, and I'm your host and publisher of bestofmazatlan.com, the leading digital lifestyle brand of Mazatlan, Mexico. This show will feature entrepreneurs, leaders, local businesses, nonprofits, musicians, realtors, and other stories that showcase the best of Mazatlan, Mexico. If you're watching this live, please like and share this show. You, the viewer, can contribute your perspective or ask questions during the live broadcast by posting your thoughts in the comments section on any of the Facebook pages you're watching our show on. Also, a quick shout out to my producer, Marissa Callie, who helps to make the show run smoothly. I'm really thrilled to be with my guest, Carol Kirkwood Bell, who, along with her husband, Bill, started Mazatlan Animal Rescue back in 2014. They joined with independent rescue people and started with foster homes. Shortly after, Lupita Tirado from Hope Sanctuary made contact and asked for help. She had 60 dogs at the time, and it went from there. She had the land, and they started constructing pens and buildings. They hired a vet and started sending animals to the U.S. and Canada. Now they have 270 dogs and 90 cats in their care. Mazatlan Animal Rescue rescues animals, mostly dogs, in street situations most weeks. They focus on those that are injured or ill and urgently need of veterinary attention. Unfortunately, the need is far greater than the number of animals that they can take into care. Through the Hope Animal Sanctuary and local veterinary clinics, animals get extensive veterinary care and recovery time until they are back to full health. Their sanctuary volunteers provide all dogs with the basics of socialization and leash training. Mazatlan Animal Rescue adopt animals to families in Mazatlan year-round. In winter, they also transport dogs to rescue partners and adoptive families in Western Canada. A surprising number of Mazatlan's visitors want to take home a four-legged family member. Mazatlan Animal Rescue has helped hundreds of rescued animals. Carol, I have so much respect and appreciation for the work that you and your organization do, and I want to thank you for taking the time to join me today. Welcome to the Best of Mazatlan show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I'm going to start the show, Carol, by turning it over to you to tell us a bit about you, your background, and how you ended up in Mazatlan.
Okay. About, oh my goodness, 15 years ago, my husband Bill and I sold out in Vancouver. We sold our business, we sold our home, and decided to retire and bought a motorhome and came south to Mexico and drove up and down the coast and settled on Mazatlan, and I was supposed to be retired. And we were on Stone Island with our RV. And after a couple of weeks of that, I needed something to do. So I went over to the animal shelter and asked if they needed some help. And 3 years later, I recognized that the need for animal rescue was far greater than what the shelter was able to do. So we formed Mazatlan Animal Rescue, and my retirement came to an end. We have certainly not stopped working, and it just seems to grow and grow. But I'm really proud of what we've accomplished. It's been an amazing journey.
Yeah, very cool. I'm sure you had no idea the extent of what you were getting into when you started.
No, not at all. No.
Funny.
And it's funny because for example, at the sanctuary, when Lupita asked for help because she had 60 dogs and couldn't keep up with them financially or with just all the work involved, we thought that was a lot. And people just kept abandoning their dogs there and putting them in over the fence. And we ended up having to luckily, we had some people willing to help financially, and most of those people are still with us financially and helping. And we just had to keep expanding. Lupita had a lot of land, and we had the luck to be able to do that. And we've really improved the facility, added in cats, and built a little house for the cats, and they're thriving as well. But it's been unexpected but amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Carol, tell us a little bit more about the relationship between Mazatlan Animal Rescue and Hope Sanctuary, and how together you've provided care and homes for hundreds of dogs over the years. Are you one organization under the umbrella of Mazatlan Animal Rescue, or talk a little bit about that relationship?
Well, Mazatlan Animal Rescue is a registered charity in the United States and a nonprofit in Canada. So we cannot involve legally the property of the Hope Sanctuary because it belongs to Lupita's family.
I see.
So what we do is we support the sanctuary. We basically, Mazatlan Animal Rescue pays all the bills. We pay all the employees, we buy all the food, and we pay all the veterinarian expenses. And Lupita and her family provide the space. And so we've kept them separate on purpose because of the two countries, or the three country descriptions needed, where we simply just raise money and find homes for the animals, which is not simple, but it's simple. And sure Lupita and her employees are responsible for actually running the sanctuary. So they feed the animals, they clean, they keep organized which animals live with which ones, and watch over our flock. Yeah. And the rest of us, the volunteers, we're all volunteers, are responsible for fundraising and finding homes for the dogs and cats.
Wow. So you're currently caring for approximately 270 dogs and 90 cats, and people should know that Hope Sanctuary provides a home for life, so it's more than just a shelter.
Yeah.
But because of that, your monthly expenses for things like food and vetting and vaccines and parasite preventions are needed for all the residents, not just the easy to adopt ones. And those expenses must be extremely high. Talk to us about the monthly expenses needed to care for these precious animals. I mean, as an example, like how much food you go through in a month.
Well, our food in terms of pounds is over 6,000 pounds of food a month.
Wow.
That's not including cat litter.
Wow.
And the expenses to run the sanctuary are right now up around $18,000 US a month. That mostly comes from foreign donors, people who very graciously send money every month and just give us the ability to keep going. When I send out animals, when they go and they get homes in the north, for example, 2 weekends ago, I sent 10 on airplanes to Canada, to Calgary and Vancouver. That makes 10 spaces that can be, we can bring animals in, and we do that as soon as we can, because basically we know how much money we have coming in usually, and how much it costs to run the operation. So we have a wait list. We have animals out there waiting to come in, and right now we don't have any space. So I need some to leave. And yeah, it's kind of like an inventory management thing in a weird kind of way, which it sounds
Yeah,
odd.
I can understand that. What happens to the animals that are waiting to get in? I mean, where are they? I mean,
Usually they're in with people who have rescued them. Hopefully they're
okay.
we have about at least 10, 12 people out in the community who, if they see an animal in distress, they won't leave them there. They take them in, but they get over full. They're taking them into their house. So they need our help. And we'll just say, well, I can't take another 40-pound dog until one leaves. So as soon as one leaves, we'll let you know, kind of thing.
Right.
But in the meantime, what happens is out at the sanctuary, people just leave them at the gate. And they're tied up and they're outside, and we can't untie them and let them go. They'll be hit by a car or or in worse trouble maybe with the people who live not far away. You know, they don't want strange animals running in their streets. So we need to take those animals in if they're left in a box or and so that's how the overcrowding takes place, because we can't turn them loose and we don't have any space, so we're full.
Yeah, I mean, is that how do most dogs come to you to the shelter?
Most come like that. We have a little community next to the sanctuary, and it's one of the most impoverished communities in Mazatlan. And there's a lot of spay neuter to be done there. And despite us offering to do the spay neuters for free, very few of the people there take advantage of it. So they're breeding, and they dump the puppies or at the gate. And so a lot of our animals do come from that community. The other way is we'll see on the Lost Dog page that they've been posting this animal, dog or cat, for weeks, and nobody's claimed it, and it's still in the street. So we will say, we have to help. He's going to get, or they're already hit by a car, and so we need to bring them in and attend to them. So there's various ways, but most of them are sad.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Yeah. Talk to us a little bit about the funding needs of your organization right now and how people can help.
Okay, well, the website has, what is it? It's PayPal. And PayPal has an arrangement for charities, which we're registered as with them, to charge a pretty low fee. So people can always donate through there. Where I'm at right now financially is we're kind of almost I've got about a month and a half worth of funding left in the bank. So I need to get the funding up. I've got a few irons in the fire, and I think there's going to be some more sizable donations coming, but
that's great.
So and the funding is always about the basic needs. If we're going to try and build some more shelters, which we need because we have too many dogs for sure, we'd like to expand the cat area. We need more shelters for the dogs. Then I kind of do a fundraising campaign specifically for that, which is aside from paying our basic costs, because we can't not buy food. We can't not pay the vet. So, sorry.
That's okay.
That's okay? Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. I put them outside, but yeah. So anyway, The basic costs are where we're at with the 18,000 US dollars a month. That's just for the must-have capabilities. And then anything special like a new structure, I would have to go and find some new money for that. So
Yeah. I want to encourage people, if you go on the Mazatlan Animal Rescue website, you can also follow them on Facebook. And on Facebook, they sometimes have fundraisers at different restaurants throughout Mazatlan, and even adoption opportunities at those restaurants. So if you follow the Mazatlan Animal Rescue Facebook page, you'll be tipped off to these events that can help Mazatlan Animal Rescue, and also are a good time, and also an opportunity to possibly adopt some animals. So just want to flag people to that opportunity on your Facebook page.
We have some great community support with a couple of restaurants. The fish restaurant up in the Gold Zone has a real strong commitment with us, and a really good partnership. And she's willing to do a fundraiser a week if we needed it, or could do
great.
it.
Good for them.
And Water's Edge down in Centro as well. They're really strong supporters and want to help as much as they can. And we're always looking for new and different opportunities to raise some funds.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I hope people out there will support those events when they happen at Fish and Water's Edge. That would be great. Talk to us a little bit about your volunteer program and how people can help, and a shout out to all the wonderful people who volunteer at Mazatlan Animal Rescue and Hope Sanctuary. What do they do, and how can more people volunteer and help?
Okay. Well, first of all, there's two types of volunteers, depending on what they like. Do they like cats or do they like dogs? And so if they're cat lovers, they come out, they go into the cat area with our senior volunteers, and they get the opportunity to clean litter pans and cuddle the cats, and just generally help have the cats feel more comfortable with people. And then the dog people, that's a big job because we have so many. You cannot be afraid of dogs to come out there. You have to be ready to have dogs jumping all over you. They do not understand basic commands, most of them. The volunteers are working with helping them to learn sit and those kinds of things, but jumping up on them, they're so excited to see people that
I'm sure
that's going to happen. So you wear your worst clothes, you come out, and what we do is we have 11 pens with various numbers of dogs in them, depending on the size of the pen. And each pen gets let out to run in the Bark Park. And the Bark Park is fairly new to us. We've only had it for about 4 years now. And it's this huge exercise area where the dogs just love it. So it is. It's you open the door of their pen, and it's not right next to where the pens are, and they all just run in a line out to the park, and they get to run around for 20 minutes, half an hour, and then you open the door of the park and they run back to their pens. So,
oh, wow, that's great.
Yeah. And so that's the main job of the dog volunteers, as well as putting leashes on them and just getting them used to needing to be a little bit restrained. We also have a couple of people with the dogs who focus on puppies. And so with the puppies, it's handling them a lot, making sure they're not shying away from people, putting leashes on them just to feel what it's like to have a leash on. And it's all reward based. There's no harsh realities or no training things. It's just trying to make their lives better. So,
So like how many times a week do volunteers go out, and do you provide transportation for the volunteers? I mean, is Hope Sanctuary located a little bit outside of the Mazatlan? So talk a little bit about that.
Okay, well, the sanctuary is about 25 minutes back towards the airport from Mazatlan City. And we run a shuttle. We had a van donated to us a few years ago, and we can fit 10 people in the van. And we made it a central location. We run people out. We go out right now 3 days a week. I would like to go out more times a week, but we don't have enough volunteers. And so 3 times a week, Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. And we leave at 8:30 in the morning roughly, and we come back around 3. And that's how long it takes to run all the dogs. And so to give them a fair amount of exercise and time with the volunteers. So yeah, until we got the van donated, we weren't able to do that. We were all using our cars and pushing people in and stuff. Yeah. So the van donation was a godsend. That's the van that I use when we have sent van loads of dogs into Arizona and Nevada and Texas as well.
Wow, so fantastic. That's great. What a great service. That's so good. That's awesome. You know, I know you told me one of your big issues is that you have many medium-sized and larger dogs with no adoption prospects, that small dogs go quickly and adoptions for cats are very poor. You know, just a note on a personal side note, we had a husky that died, and we've always had dogs in our lives, and we were looking for an easier breed because we're getting older, something a little more mellow, maybe smaller. But when the shelter brought out this large undernourished husky to meet us, he was shaking. He jumped up on the picnic table next to us and got in belly rub position. And when he looked at us with his compassionate blue eyes, we knew that we were taking him home with us. So, you know, people say he's lucky we rescued him, but the truth is, you know, he rescued us, and that's generally what it is with rescues. They rescue you. You don't rescue them. So I want people to know, you know, please don't discriminate against a dog because of its size. You know, whether they're big or small, they need a loving home. And there's nothing like in the world like the unconditional love you get from a dog. And even though we may have wanted a smaller breed or a mellow breed, we couldn't be happier that we have Kona or another husky because he's just a wonderful dog, and
we have a matching female for you at the sanctuary.
I noticed that. Is that Alaska? I noticed it on your
website. So when you're here, Mark, you can meet Alaska. We're actually looking for a place. We'd like Alaska to live somewhere a little cooler. And so some of our volunteers with contacts in Canada are making sure that everybody up there knows that Alaska can come on the next flight to Calgary.
There's a picture of Alaska on the screen now. Yeah, huskies are great dogs, so I hope somebody adopts them.
She's pretty wonderful, you know, but they do need a lot of exercise and the right people for sure.
Absolutely. I walk my husky probably 5 miles a day, but I like to think that it's keeping me alive.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, you know, you walk in all kinds of weather because you know the dog needs the walk, and so. But Alaska looks precious, so I hope somebody out there.
She's special.
Contacts you. Tell us about the process of how you help visiting people from Mazatlan adopt and transport their dog or cat to Canada. That's such an interesting program. And it's great that you do that.
It's based on WestJet, the airline. They fly here only during the high season. So they start in November and they stop in May. And they have flights to Calgary, Edmonton, and Vancouver. So as soon as they start their flights, or just before they start their flights, we advertise asking for flight angels, they're called. And because the animal can't go on the plane unaccompanied, so they volunteer to take the dog or cat, but usually dogs, in the hold. Once they have their booking made, we or they book the space in the airplane. And then once I know that I have space in the airplane, we can talk to either adopters or other rescue groups that we have partnerships with up there. So they will receive the dog. So the people doing the flying don't take the dog home. They're met at the airport, and the dog goes off with either someone who we have adopted the dog to through a process of interviews and things, and or to another rescue group who is then responsible for finding the home for that dog. And so through the season, we can send a couple of hundred dogs to Canada.
Wow, that's fantastic. I had no idea it was that many.
It can be. That was our best year, and I'm hoping this year will be like that.
Wow, what a great program.
Yeah.
Good. I hope so too. I hope it's...
And the adopters and or rescues pay the airfare. So that doesn't come out of our money, out of our budgets. And
good.
So yeah, we've invested in the care, and we charge a very small fee in addition to the airfare. But the animal leaves, and to us, that's an adoption fee.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's great. What a great program. It's so great that you do that.
Yeah, it's all about WestJet, because some of the other American airlines that fly out of Mazatlan, a couple of them will take dogs, but we just don't have the people at the other end set up in, let's say, and we don't have anybody in Los Angeles. We don't have anybody in Phoenix to just receive almost unconditionally, like the rescues in Canada are doing for us. So she basically says, I'll say, I can throw 2 on the plane on Saturday. Can I send 2? And she'll just say, yeah, tell me which ones. And then she promotes and finds foster homes up there for them. And it's just a really great, and that's Rough Start. Yeah, Rough Start Rescue in Alberta. Yeah.
Wow,
really
fantastic. I love that. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if we had the time, I would showcase all of the dogs at the sanctuary that are looking for their forever home. But we're going to highlight a few here. And I'm hoping we can do this show together, Carol, more often so that we can feature more dogs and cats for people to adopt and for people to help support the great work that Mazatlan Animal Rescue is doing every day. So, Marissa, why don't you pull up a few of the dogs that Carol had sent us? Here's some.
Okay, here's my boy. Rufo is he's special because he has bitten a few people.
Oh,
and
no.
And this is a couple of years ago, but even recently, he's was really mistreated and
Poor thing.
And resents being pushed. So if someone by mistake gives him a push, he'll respond. So his adopter would have to be very special and aware that you can't push him. We would not put him in a home with children. We would have to make sure that the people are, so those are unusual people to find, because a lot of people don't want to take on an animal that's kind of unpredictable, but we're sure that person is out there.
How long's Rufo been in the sanctuary for?
Oh, at least 6-7 years.
It's sad.
Yeah. Oh, Benji. Yeah.
Look at
Benji. He's adorable. He came from Stone Island. Some foreigners were staying over there and picked up Benji as this baby, and they just would not take no for an answer. I'm reluctant. There's so many animals on Stone Island that nobody can keep up with them, and we've done spay neuter clinics over there, and the state has gone in there with their van and done spay neuter clinics, and just it's never ending the amount of animals coming. So, but they insisted that I meet them, and then he turned into that big, lanky. He's very, very shy, and the other dogs, if he's kept in a pen with them, pick up on his shyness and pick on him like bullies. Dogs can be like bullies, and so we have to be really careful at the sanctuary where he is housed and who he is kept with, and if we see any sign of bullying, we have to change him around. So Benji needs a home.
Yeah, he looks precious. I hope somebody gives him one.
Yeah.
Okay, Maritza's just going to pull up your website now so we can look at other dogs that you can talk about. And because I think if anybody's out there watching, please consider it.
Nora, do you want me to talk about them, or do you want?
Sure, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, well, Nora was taken from a situation where the owner was viewed by neighbors as beating her. And so the local authorities went in because she was on private property. Rescuers cannot go in. So the authorities went in and took her, but had no place for her to go because there's no facility here. There's no animal control here. There's no dog pound. So one of our employees took her home, or found a friend who would take her, but then he got so he couldn't look after her. So she ended up with us anyway, and very, very skinny and very scared and temperamental. But now, today, she's good. She's got some weight on, and she's friendlier, and she's just beautiful. So we think, and that's a popular breed here, the Shepherds and Alsatians, they're very popular. So we're hoping we find the right person for her. Yeah, she's a doll. Yeah, there's no end to the dolls, that's for sure. The Para, the one here, she came in with puppies. And I think she had 4 puppies. Yeah. She's kind of, funny looking. Her mouth is odd, doesn't close properly. And she's got funny looking little bitten up ears and things. But and she's also pretty shy. We actually have quite a few shy dogs. And I think coming from the street, it does that to them. But only one of her offspring is left in the sanctuary. The others, two of the others went to Canada and are living happy lives. And we'd love to find Para, the same. Yeah, she's unique.
Yeah, she looks unique.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah.
Who else do we have here, Marissa, we can pull up?
This got, if you keep going down a little bit more, Pongo there. He's one of our bad boys. He patrols the central area of the sanctuary and keeps all the younger dogs in order. And then when we start running the pens, he has to be put away because he likes to chase the other dogs and give them a nip in the ass. But Pongo, he's in charge. He's the boss. Yeah.
He's the boss man.
One of the bosses. Yeah. He's been there probably 4 years at least.
Wow.
We have
Wow.
lots there who have been there a long time. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, what's like the average length of time that they're there? It's
I think the average is maybe 2 years.
okay.
And of course the cute young little ones don't even stay a couple of months. As soon as they're
Hmm.
ready for adoption, we send them, we put them on the available page, and
Right.
or we have people waiting. Like I have a couple of people asking right now for I want a small dog, not a Chihuahua. Yeah, so
Right.
as soon as I get a small dog, not a Chihuahua, like Scooter there, he's a recent arrival, and I guess he'd be considered a small dog, but he's very heavy. He's not.
Really? He doesn't look
Yeah,
it.
I know. He's just, you pick him up and it's surprising. He couldn't go under the seat in an airplane, and that's what a lot of people are looking for. And we think he's part Scotty dog or West Highland Terrier or something, because he's got those funny ears.
Yeah, the ears really fun.
He's almost like a medium-sized dog on short legs or something.
Uh-huh.
And
So
he's a
cute.
character. Yeah, he's different. Yeah.
So he's recent?
He's recent, and I expect he'll go fairly soon, as long as people don't need for under the seat.
Right.
But Sophia there, the beagley looking one there, she's been at the sanctuary 8 years maybe,
Wow.
most of her life anyway. I can't remember exactly, but
Okay.
she's been there a long time. And anytime I've tried to, when we were sending dogs north in the bus, we tried to send her. She won't go in a crate.
Oh,
So for transporting, it's she has to be adopted locally, and that hasn't happened yet.
it's too bad.
Yeah,
Looks like a cute dog.
she's good, but she's getting pretty fat now. She likes to lay around. She needs somebody to walk her out every day.
Yeah. So precious.
Yeah. And then of course we have the cats. I don't know if you want to put them up, but they're they are
What's the percentage of people adopting dogs versus cats? Is it?
huge difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. And with the rescues, we're taking dogs north in the van. The only people who will even talk to me right now are dog rescues. I can't get any cat rescues to even talk to me. So, I mean, we would drive them to California or Arizona or Texas or Nevada again, or if we could put enough in the van to make the trip worthwhile. But I just can't get anybody to make a commitment. So.
Right.
We took 30 cats to Arizona a couple of years ago, and that's the last time any bulk shipment of cats took place. And those cats that went up to that rescue in Arizona got adopted within 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. It's a huge difference, the adoption rate. I mean, if we send 35, we took 35 dogs into Texas, and they transitioned through a rescue there up to New York, state of New York, and they were adopted in 10 days.
Wow.
Yeah. It just is such a difference, the amount of adoptions take. Well, and the need is there. They just don't have the strays wandering around like we do.
Right. Yeah. I mean, in terms of them coming to you, like, what's the percentage of dogs versus cats that come to the sanctuary? I mean, because there's street cats everywhere in Mazatlan, just as there are dogs. But
yeah, well, the cats, what we do to help them, because we cannot even think about housing, especially the feral cats. But our cat facility is relatively small, and we're at more overcapacity now, and that's with 90 some odd cats. So, and then they get dumped in a box as babies, and so we have to take them. So it's no such thing as putting a no entry on,
Right.
And so what we do with the cats, we do what we call trap, neuter, and return. So we get, right now, I have a request in from a community in Cerritos who have a lot of loose cats, semi-feral or feral. So we have to go in and trap them, take them to the vet, get them fixed, and then we put them back in that community. And then over the years, it usually takes 2 years, the number of cats is diminished, and because they don't live so long when they're in the wild. And, but cats tend to be more self-sufficient if they're out, where dogs just can't find a way to survive if they're out as well. So,
Right.
and feral cats don't want to live with people anyway, for the most part. So then I have another in Sablo country, another request for helping them trap, neuter, and return. So we don't have to house as many cats, or we can't house as many cats anyway, until we expanded our facility and our donor base. But we're willing to consider it, and Lupita has the land. We just
Right.
need the resources to do it. Yeah.
Right. So, Carol, I can't thank you enough for joining me today. This has been fantastic. For people that want to donate or volunteer, please go to the website, mazatlananimalrescue.com. You can see it running across the bottom of the screen now. It's a great organization. They do great work. I want Carol to come back again and keep talking about the animals and the great work that she's doing. Carol, before we end the show, I'm going to turn it over to you to say whatever you want.
Well, for most of us, the volunteers, the adoptions are what make the work worthwhile, because we don't want the animals to live in our facility for their entire lives. They can, that's why it's a sanctuary, and they can stay there as long as they have to until their life ends naturally. But if they have the opportunity to live in a home with a family and people who love them, we need that to happen. It helps us as volunteers continue our work. When they leave, it's a happy day. So if you know anybody who wants to adopt, somehow or other, we're going to make that work, and we'll get the right animal to you, because our shopping list, or our shopping of available animals, is long, and you have lots to choose from.
Absolutely. Well, your website does a great job of showcasing the dogs. So,
Yeah.
So I hope people can go there, and again, join their Facebook page, follow their Facebook page about events that are coming up in Mazatlan that you can support.
Yeah.
They do bring dogs to those sometimes, and you can have an opportunity to see them up close.
And if they want to come out and see the animals, anyone's welcome to come. Just make contact. It's not open to the public. We'll just take, we set it up, and we allow anybody to come and visit. So
that's great. What's the best way for people to contact you? Is it the email address, mazatlananimalrescue@gmail.com? Is that your
there, or through the Facebook page, Messenger? It all comes through me. So
terrific.
Mm-hmm. Same with volunteering. They don't have to necessarily fill in a volunteer application if they're not comfortable with that. Just message through, we're here, we'd like to come out, and then I'll try and make it work. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. How many more volunteers would you need to add an extra day? You're going there 3 times a week. How many more do you need to make it an extra?
I think we need at least 5 or 6 to run a volunteer to-do list when we go out there. And the issue is having volunteers with the new people who can direct them. So
Right.
you can't just show up as a new person and know what to do and be
Right.
safe out there. So we need, so I would say, yeah, we tried to add another day and we just didn't have the depth that time. But what we would do is if someone is especially here most of the year, there's time then to train them and show them the ropes and then maybe add a day. So probably 5 or 6 more people. Yeah.
Okay. That's great. Let's do it, people. Let's volunteer. Come on, get on the website and volunteer. It would be great to have more volunteers go out there and
they can also foster. They can foster. And if they don't want to come out to the sanctuary, take an animal into your home and teach them the ropes. And
absolutely.
That's just as good as coming out to the sanctuary as far as we're concerned. So
absolutely fantastic. Well, I'm going to sign off my Best of Mazatlan show with this. We all have choices in life. Choose love, not hate. Choose positive, not negative. And always remember the glass is half full. And if you're lucky, it'll be half full of tequila from La Susuna. Adios, amigos. Thanks so much for watching. See you soon. Adios.